Greetings all, Ferrari-Man601 here. Good morning and welcome to runway 30 right here at Dubai International. What are we doing here? Well, as the title would strongly suggest, we're going to be finding another Formula One racetrack. This time, we're actually going to be going to the next emirate over, Abu Dhabi, where we're going to try and find Yas Marina. Now, I am being a little bit contrived with this because I've already found Yas Marina. However, I've not taken a close look at it because the last couple of times I was around here, I was in a Cessna Citation and a 747 respectively. Therefore, I really couldn't get low enough or slow enough to take a good look at the racetrack, much less attempt a landing on it. So, we've got a Beechcraft Bonanza today. I wanted a little bit of a smaller airplane, so we've gotten rid of the DA62 or the Beechcraft Baron in favor of a single-engine prop, and hopefully it's going to be small enough to make a landing someplace at Yas Island at very least, if not on the circuit proper. So this is going to involve flying for a little bit of the ways that away, roughly, into the early morning light here in the Emirates. So, yes, we should be getting on with that presently. And a cockpit cold and dark, as you might expect. We've hidden the yoke so we can see our electrical controls over here. Let's get some power in this thing. Battery masters 1 and 2 are up. Get our PFD up, and it's there. Caution on the oil pressure, as expected. Got our avionics master on. And we have got a map. That's good stuff. We can navigate just strictly by landmarks. We're basically going to fly up the coast here of the Emirates, and you can get an idea of where we are if we can zoom out. One of these is going to be a zoom out. Doesn't much matter because we know where we're going. So our autopilot controls over on DAT 1. Doesn't really matter. Okay, we're going to be flying up the coast roughly in a westerly, northwesterly direction. And hopefully we'll find this place. Got our engine fired up. Watch the right-hand screen. And we have ignition. Coming down to idle about 750, 740. 730, that's fine. Test the mags real quick. We're at both right now. Check the RPM on the left. Left goes down to 720 or so. 710, back to both. Back up to 720. Right. So that's about 710, 700 on the left mag. 700 there. Right mag. Looks to be holding 700. That's fine. Back to both. RPM should come back up to about 720 for our warm idle here. Oil temp is into green. Oil pressure's into green. Got our alternators up. Alternators are up. Shut down the batteries. Get our landing lights on. Floodlight for the cockpit. We don't need that. Bright sunshiny day. Our nav lights can get on. They're already on. We confirm that. We'll get our pitot heat and prop de-icing on. Not that we really need it out here in the desert, but you never know. Then everything else should be good. Our prop feather is up at full. Our fuel mixture is up at full. We can get our yoke back. What is our pitch trim? Can we adjust it on here? I don't think we can. Nope. Okay. Not a problem. Cowl flaps, we'll keep them shut. Aileron trim is neutral. And I think we can get going. Release the brakes. And throttle up. Countering the prop torque effects. And there's a green, call a V1, rotate, positive rate, gear up, gear coming up. See all of the buildings directly ahead of us, and make sure we clear them. The approach here, coming from the opposite direction, obviously runway 12, it's, yeah, a little bit of a steeper glide slope than you'd normally expect. Flaps the rest of the way in. Flaps are retracted, we confirm that, okay. So there's Dubai. All sorts of really cool architecture in this part of the world. Of course, lots of money, most of which has been gleaned from very questionable sources. But there it is. And Dubai International is one of the airports that has gotten the handcrafted treatment in Flight Simulator. So you can see we got some really cool looking terminal buildings around here. Some static AI aircraft there. A380 over there. It's cool. Another one down there. I wish we would have a flyable A380 in this sim. I'm sure somebody's working on it. Then we get over into the more normal area of the city. At about 110 knots, we are going to fly over with a left turn. We'll start to take a look at some of the landmarks on the way, because we've always got cool stuff to look at around these parts. I'm just going to sort of hug the coast for a little while, get some altitude a little bit. We'll see what we've got going on here in terms of right, cool. We'll acknowledge that real quick. We'll leave ATC alone. Well, southwesterly direction is where we want to go. I think I said northwesterly direction before. No. Slightly directionally challenged, I think I might be. Probably not a good trait if you want to be a pilot. Oddly, in the real world, I have no problem navigating. But in the sim, it just feels different. Anyway, that building, that tremendous spire of a thing right there, that is the tallest building in the world. At least in terms of the tallest habitable structure where people can permanently inhabit the thing. Yeah, that is the Burj Khalifa. And yes, it was built in, well, it's finished in 2010. Construction started in 2004 on that thing, and it is ridiculously tall. Tops out at 829 meters. That's 2,722 feet. Almost a full kilometer high. That's insanity. And so note about where we are in the world. Obviously, the United Arab Emirates, it is an Arab country, and therefore it is an officially Muslim country. And in the month of Ramadan, whenever that happens, there has been an issue, at least a question, in terms of when should people be able to break their fast. Because, of course, during the Ramadan month, the Muslim adherents will not eat during the day, and they can break the fast at sunset. Of course, if you're at the top of that building, the sunset for you is later than it is if you're at the bottom of that building. And I think depending on exactly when Ramadan falls, the difference can be as much as 5 minutes. It's pretty crazy. Then over on the right side of the aircraft, you can see that we have a smattering of artificial islands that have been arranged to resemble the map of the world. And You can see on the display a little something that resembles Australia out there. Looking out the window, you can totally see the resemblance. These are all artificial islands, and of course there's an artificial barrier island encircling them. But they call that the world. And I do believe that they've had some trouble trying to sell real estate on the world, but there it is. There's the Western Hemisphere, North and South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, Antarctica, I don't believe. No, there actually is a little bit of Antarctica down there. Cool. Some more sights to see dead ahead. First off, you can see this building down there. That is the Burj Al Arab, I believe it's called. That was built in the late 90s. Some tremendous architecture out here. That building was designed to resemble the billowing sails of a ship. Then more directly ahead, you can see it better on the PFD, we have more artificial islands. These are the palms. There are two palms. There's a larger one and a smaller one. I believe the larger one is called Jebel Ali, and then the smaller one is called Jumeirah, but I'd have to double check that. Reset the altimeter there, approaching 6,000 feet. Real cool. So it's going to take a little while in terms of us getting to where we need to go. We're going to set up the autopilot to just hold heading here and get an altitude set. Call it 8,000. And altitude hold at 8,000 feet. We've got 7,000 punched in right now. We'll bring that up to 8,000. Vertical speed. Bring it up to 1,100 feet per minute. And our heading turned down a little bit. We'll fly 225. That'll be glorious. We're right over the palm right now. Go back outside. Show you a look at this. Look at that. This is Jebel Ali, I believe. Of course, most of these are privately owned properties. See some ships out there, private yachts. The larger ship out there appears to be a cruise ship. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's another cruise ship down there. And another one. Obviously, it's a very popular destination. Absolutely wild. And of course we got our aircraft. Absolutely crazy stuff. Another palm directly ahead, smaller one. Utterly nuts. Back on board, leveled off at 8,000 feet. I'd like to go a little higher. Get up to 11,000. Can we climb at 2,000 per minute, or is that going to be a little bit too taxing on our airspeed? We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be too taxing. Go to 1,100 per minute. Should be okay. Yeah, much better. Fuel tank shut-off valve. Don't shut that down. Prop RPM is at 2,700 and to the rev limit. Keep an eye on that. Then out there you start to get into the interior of the Arabian Peninsula. Lots of mountains and lots of desert. In fact, farther out west you get into Saudi Arabia. They have a whole section of the country that's just called the empty quarter because it's empty. We have a stall. Yep, we do have a stall. Our trim has gotten a little bit crazy. We're in a stall. We got to take control over this thing. Okay. That's an angle of attack stall now. That's okay. Yeah, trim has gone a little bit nuts. That's all right. Get our altitude hold back. Hope the trim is going to get itself figured out. Get our VS hold. All right, trim has started to behave again. That's good. I'll get our altitude back up to 11,000 selected. Okay, that's fine. Try 1,000 feet per minute. Sure, speed indicated at 100 knots. Hold 500 per minute on the rate of climb. Okay, that's fine. This thing doesn't generate all that much lift, all things considered. But that's fine. Another airport out there. That's cool. And of course the back seat, not bad. Expecting the autopilot to level off. And it appears to be so doing. Cool. Alright, there it is. 11,000. Bang on. Cool. The other palm here, barely any development on it. There appears to be yet another artificial island starting to be constructed here. That's just fantastic stuff. Starting to gain some more speed, that's good. True airspeed is 145 knots. Not sure what our ground speed is. Ground speed's 155 knots. And I think the yellow or orange line that you can see at the bottom there of our right side display, I think that's the border between the Dubai Emirate and the Abu Dhabi Emirate. So we're getting there. That's cool. That's about as far out as we can go. Nice. Very, very nice. See, they're just looking out over the wing. Great detail, obviously. It is not cold enough to get any icing. We're at 9 degrees C outside, so that's fine. But very, very pretty out here. I love the geography of this part of the world. Love the architecture, the cities. You just have such a world of contrast. Got some lakes out there, would appear. But obviously you've got the tremendous architecture in the urban areas, and then you just have vast expanses of emptiness. Contrasted with, hey, the ocean, Persian Gulf. You look way out there, you can see the horizon isn't quite flat. We're probably not going to be able to see it from here, but over that way is Iran, Strait of Hormuz. Very, very cool stuff out here. True air speed's 150 knots, ground speed showing 157. Yeah, so very, very interesting. You can see out there on the bottom of this display, you can see OMAG, OMAA. Those are some of the airport designations in Abu Dhabi, so we are going in the right area. Been a little while before we get there, but that is okay. All the fun of Flight Simulator is sometimes just sitting back and watching the world go by. Our climate controls here. I think that's showing outside air temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. Can't interface with our climate controls at all. 48 Fahrenheit indicated, 9 centigrade indicated here. Seems okay. Wind speeds. That's cool. Actually isn't a bad idea to get our wind speeds up. Then out in this area directly ahead, we're starting to get to Abu Dhabi. Very, very nice. How's it all going back there, folks? You get seating for 4 in the back. Little cargo net back there. Not awful. No bathroom, but otherwise livable. Fuse panel down here. Yep. Looks about right. There's our pitch trim. Defrost is inoperative. Okay. Firewall air control. You can use all these controls, but they don't do anything. Cabin heat inoperative. Air conditioner and the blower are inoperative. parking brake. Obviously not going to do anything right now, but and the upper panel just has some lights, which I don't even... Yeah, we can control them. Pretty good. Upper lights back there. Ah, we can control things back there. That's interesting. And it does cast a beam down the center line of the cabin. That's actually pretty cool. Seat adjust for the rear passengers. Nice. And what is this that I see out here to about 10 o'clock? That looks an awful lot like Yas Island. And I dare say that that might look a lot like Ferrari World, Abu Dhabi. It just might. Let's see what we've got going on out here, shall we? Feather our prop down. Look at this. Yep. Yas Island and Yas Marina right there. And you can see something that vaguely resembles the outline of the racetrack. And over there is Abu Dhabi Airport, where we could have started from, and this whole flight to the area would have been obviated. But I rather like it. Do it this way. A little bit of a change of pace. And there we go. The three-dimensional structures are starting to auto-populate before our very eyes. Very nice. I am going to start to fly us in a big circle so that we can continue to lose altitude here. Do like the sun coming through the cockpit, shadows falling over the instrument panel. That's cool. Very nice. Alright, we'll start to roll out of the turn any moment now. There we go. Nice. Okay, so the autopilot is going to take us down to 2,000 feet. Then I will retake manual control once we start to get in a little bit closer. But you can see, zooming in some more, that's definitely Ferrari World Abu Dhabi. Interesting. Starting to level out. Bring our prop feather back up. Actually, feathering the prop, I think, makes the aircraft lose speed a little bit more slowly, does it? I'm not entirely sure. We're in a stall. Pitch trim has gone absolutely crazy. Again, seems to be a thing that just happens. Gonna disconnect the autopilot. Let's just get this neutral. Okay, that's better. Anyway, there is Ferrari World Abu Dhabi. I don't see the roller coaster. But the building is pretty obvious. So that's all well and good and pretty cool. No, I don't see the roller coaster. Is that it out there? At least a rough representation of the track. I'm not sure. No, not seeing a roller coaster. Oh, there it is. Represented on the ground, but not in 3 dimensions. Cool stuff. Now, coming back around here, should be getting up to where the racetrack is. There it is. There's the hotel. At least where the hotel should be. There's the road. Can we see anything in terms of obvious obstructions? Not to this point. One of the straights is where we're going to be landing, probably the one that our wing is over right now. Not as long as it looks on television. There we go. Let's see. Okay, well, we're going to have to see where we can put this thing down. On a closer inspection, Ferrari World looks like a very strange-looking office building, at least from the facade. With all sorts of Chipped paint on top. Ugh. I know Ferrari are having problems, but really? Right. So I think we're going to land in that direction.
500.
So we'll come out and get some more altitude, get some distance, and then we'll come in and land. And here are these little barrier islands. You can see the wave action. That's cool. Let's get a little bit of altitude. There's 1,000 feet. Shut the engine down to idle. Got our approach flaps out. Get it turned around. Goes 1,000 feet. Okay. Plainly see where it is that we are going. Get the gear down, gear coming. Gear down, 3 green. That's the chicane. That's a 3D bridge. All right. Idle. Get her down. A little bit firm. But that's okay. Man, this is not flat. This is not flat in the least. Get on the brakes. I'll get her stopped and parked here. Wheel stop, park and brake is set. Get a battery on, get our alternators off, avionics master off. And we got our engine stopped. Battery master off. Our mix and feather prop down. Okay. So, here we are, landed at the Yas Marina circuit. It's grass. We have got some grass here, as we've seen on every circuit that we have visited so far. What have we? Well, let's get our speed to go up a little bit in terms of our camera adjustments. We'll see what we've got here. So, as we pull out here, you can see that the farther out we get, as we have noted with all of these, the more and more it resembles the landmark that we're looking at. There is where the hotel would be, the marina, and of course the overall circuit layout. Heading back towards start-finish. There is start-finish right there, quite obviously. We've got ourselves our grandstands, or at least our buildings in place of grandstands. That's fine. We'll have to see what sorts of obstructions we do have. There's a big obstruction. We've got some buildings down through the final corner. That's no fun. And they just look like apartment blocks. Yep. So, unfortunately, no hot lapping of this circuit. However, down start finish, the grandstands are warehouse buildings. The pit lane, obviously, would be right here. Some garage doors, but not many. And let's say the pit exit goes underneath the circuit. This is turn 1. The pit exit starts to come up through here. The pit exit is actually paved. Look at that. That is, I guess it's bitumen or just gravel, but still, pit exit is paved. So that's kind of cool, I guess. And then you start to get into the runoff areas and all sorts of different configurations that you can have here at this circuit. But turn 1, interesting. Were we going the wrong way? Is that? Yep. Okay, we were going the wrong way. But regardless, coming up through here, the big tower is not here. That's a little bit of a disappointment. But yes, turn 1 is where all the buildings are. Then we go down a hill. The pit exit is here, and it is not paved. I do beg your pardon. Coming up to turn 2. Start to get into all the different configurations that you can get. Bridge, turn 3, the braking zone right up to here. More grandstands are represented, and they actually follow the contour of the track pretty nicely. That's cool. That's well done. So the chicane, or you could bypass the chicane. Hairpin here. Huh. And that's the edge of Ferrari world. How about that? I had no idea they were so close to each other. Apparently they are. Anyway, we come up through here. The first DRS zone is down this straight. Interesting. Interesting contrast here with, is this dirt? Yeah, this is actually dirt. And then we get into grass immediately. Cool. Continue down the straight. I hear water. Was I supposed to hear water? Is this water? Yeah, I think it is. It's wet dirt. Okay. Anyway, we continue all the way down the straight. This is a long straight. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Braking zone, more warehouse buildings that are representing grandstands. And here, you see this runoff, and then the runoff zone actually goes under the grandstand here. Obviously, that's not represented very well here, but that's interesting. The chicane. And then this was a bridge that we flew over. I had no idea that this would be a 3D bridge, but there it is. Thankfully, we didn't try to land right here because we would have crashed into it. And then the second straight. Second DRS zone. It's a pretty long straight as well. There's our airplane. And then we continue down into the braking zone here for another tight chicane. Left, right, left. Hairpin. More curbing, and then that ain't good. Again, you got to pull out really far before that starts to look like anything resembling curbing. You get up really close, especially right on this seam line. You've just got, yeah, 4 corners, 4 different types of grass and gravel and dirt and everything right here in one spot. That's a look. But, you know, fair play. Right here. It's a flat-out corner in an F1 car. This one is too, if you're brave. Braking hard. The hotel would be right here. No trace of it in 3 dimensions. You do see the trace on the ground. This is a bridge that connects 2 parts of the hotel. There you go. The only three-dimensional representation we have of the hotel is this storefront-looking thing. And then this warehouse-looking thing. How about that? It thinks this part of the hotel is just water. So the hotel is underwater, according to Flight Simulator. That's interesting. I do like the water effects, though. Back around through the final part of the lap. This is all still clear. Come around, there's the pit entrance. Then the final corner. Huh. So in other words, these buildings are not blocking the track. But those in turn 1 are. So unfortunately, the vast majority of the lap is passable. We've got a bridge across the second straight, and then we've got these buildings across turn 1. That's a shame. But all in all, not too bad, if I may say so. Where is our airplane parked? Right over here, I think. The infield, the marina, which of course connects out. And you can go out to sea if you wanted to. That's cool. There's the water again. I do like those water effects. How many waves here on the shoreline? Not really. And of course we get back to our airplane. Nice. And it's still ticking itself cool. Alright. To get back on board, I want to go and land at Abu Dhabi Airport. And it's 92 F out there right now. It is hot. We are in the desert after all. Engine did not fire. Ah, that would explain it. The mixture is cut. There we go. Low idle on the prop feather. Right. RPM coming back up. Okay. That's fine. So I want to go to Abu Dhabi. I think to do this right, we're going to have to turn around and take off in the opposite direction. All right. Let's get moving a little bit. Want to get a little bit of a gravity assist on our takeoff roll. Right. And let's hope we can get off the ground. I got full flap set. There's 50 knots. Trying to go uphill. 50 knots, 60 knots. There's the bridge. We're going to have to get off the ground right about now. All right, we got it. 65 knots. Bring the gear up. Clear the buildings. Okay, we've got it. Be real careful with our pitch angle here. Get some more airspeed. Bringing the flaps in to approach setting and bring the flaps up. Okay, so I want to land at Abu Dhabi Airport, which is right behind us. Abu Dhabi International, OMAA. I want to land.
Abu Dhabi Tower Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf is 4 miles northwest with Echo to land. Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray
Straight in, 13 right.
Make straight in runway 13 right. Altimeter 29.65, wind 039er at 12. Beechcraft Sierra X-Ray Golf.
Clear land.
Runway 13 right. Wind 039er at 12. Clear to land runway 13 right Beechcraft Sierra X-Ray Golf.
And there be the runway. Right ahead of us. Cool. And literally, the approach into 13 right is directly over the racetrack. That is some cool stuff. Flaps down into the approach position. And gear coming. Gear down. 3 green. Bring our flaps down the rest of the way. Flaps down. $300. $200. A little bit of crosswind here, pushing us to the right. 100. Idle. Touchdown. Let a right rudder here to keep us near center line. Nose is on a deck.
Beechcraft Sierra X-Ray Golf exit runway when able.
Roger, we'll exit when able. Airplane is turning hard left.
Beechcraft Sierra X-Ray Golf, contact ground on 119.425.
119.425.
for Beechcraft Sierra X-Ray Golf.
That's cool stuff. Engine stop. And power off. And there it is. We started in Dubai, we end at Abu Dhabi, and we made a trip to Yas Marina along the way. Another impassable circuit in Flight Simulator, but it is another circuit in Flight Simulator. So, beggars can't be choosers. We do have another Formula One circuit that is well recognizable, but as with a lot of the others, it's a bit limited in terms of the specific details that we do have available. But it is there, you can land on it, you can visit it, it looks the way that it should, and that's all well and good in my book. Very, very cool to see all of that. Until next time, though, I do hope that you've all enjoyed this one. Ferrari Man 601, saying thank you very much for watching, and of course, we will see you soon.